What you should know about a garage, especially with new construction, is generally a garage that is finished is not something that is included in the price of the home. The only thing that is required for the builder to do is to have a fire-safe wall, drywall to any walls that are attached to the home. So anything else would otherwise be open. In this new construction home, everything has been finished, even if it's not painted, but generally just know that that would not come included in the price and would be a separate charge. There are two kinds of concrete. Concrete that has cracked and concrete that will crack. Builders have taken that to heart and have put in these extension cracks, these seams that guide the concrete when it cracks actually to crack here in those seams and not anywhere else. It might still happen, however, this is a great start and this is well laid out. And while we're talking about the floor, you will also see that garage floors are not attached to the foundation, so that when these plates, these concrete plates move, they move independently from the foundation and do not cause any damage when they move. And a word about the panel here, the fuse panel. First of all, always label it. Once you've labeled it, take a picture of it because your writing might fade and then you don't know what the fuses are for. So keep that in mind. In basements, you have window wells. No brainer, right? However, what some don't know is that in every room, there needs to be at least a window well with a ladder for exit outside, because to make this fire safe, this would be the code that is required. Another word about window wells is that you might have seen window wells that are rusting or completely rusted out. That happens when the window wells are not properly attached to the house and they're connecting with a rebar in the concrete, in the foundation, and therefore create a current. And combined with any kind of moisture, that will erode the window well, and in the end, you're going to have to replace it. And just a little bit more information about framing of a home. In basements, you might see these gaps. No, they did not forget to actually attach the wall to the ceiling. They just don't do it. And the reason for that is so that this floor has room to move up without really damaging the rest of the house, because it could move walls. And when it moves walls, it moves the rest of the house. Also here, why does this wood have a different color compared to this one? The reason for that is because this is pressure treated, because it's directly connected to the floor. And if the floor gets wet from some groundwater intrusion or something, this piece is not affected. These huge nails ensure that whatever is moving along and come up. Fans are an important part of a house, and while you might not want a fan in every room, when you are building a new home, you can have your rooms pre-wired for fans. In this case, could also be for a light, but there needs to be extra framing in order to carry the fan weight. However, having this installed ahead of time, even if it costs you a little bit more, is a smart thing. When you shower or take a bath, make sure you always have the fan running, because that takes the moisture out of the room and leads it out. Granted, Colorado doesn't have a ton of moisture. However, our houses are built so tightly now that any moisture needs to be guided out to the exterior of the house. In the primary bathroom of the primary suite, having a double vanity is super beneficial. 2 sinks. Everybody has their own sink, right? If you have an undermount sink, be aware that there is caulking underneath, and sometimes it's easy to forget that you have to clean this area here, and then it can get kind of gunky. Here's the other thing too. This vanity is extra high. We see this many times now as a builder standard, but make sure if you're building a new home that you ask how high the standard builder vanity height is, because this is very comfortable. You don't have to lean down too far, especially when you're tall. That really gets to your back. You will also see many new construction homes only having a shower in the primary bathroom and not a bathtub and a shower anymore. That is because more and more people opt for not having a bathtub in the primary bathroom and are okay as long as there's just one tub in the house somewhere. Another feature is the bench, the shower bench. I love it. You can put all of your shower items there. You can shave your legs, whatever you want to do. This is a great feature to have, super practical. And if you come closer, you can see that this bench actually is tilted forward, and that makes sure that all the moisture, all the water that hits it drains accordingly. Otherwise, you end up having somewhat of a bath on the shower bench. I mean, that's just not fun. And here, these cracks in the shower, on vanities, on countertops, they happen. A house expands and contracts with the weather, and so it's moving, it's settling, and with that, you will get these cracks. Just know it's not a bad thing. Keep an eye on it. There's special caulks for shower and kitchen, and that will be helpful because it moves with the settlement. So it's all good. Many builders have these wire shelves as a standard in their included features. You might want to opt for solid surfaces, wood surfaces. It's not solid wood, it's still a composite product, but not everybody likes these wires. However, you might save a few pennies if you're okay with this, and then later just change it out. In the laundry room, pretty much all of the new or newer homes have an electrical connection for the dryer. However, new construction homes, they have a 4-prong connection plug-in, while older homes have only 3 prongs. Depending on how old your washer is, that's something to consider. Here's the kicker though, and I think that's a must-have when you are building a new house: a recessed vent. So you have your dryer here and the vent pipe goes in, but it's not kinking because you have this recessed area. So that vent pipe can easily just be attached here. It doesn't kink and doesn't prevent the dryer from accumulating all the lint and then cause a fire. About the washing machine itself, it would be great to have a drain here. So in case the washer spills its guts, so to speak, you don't have a mess in the downstairs basement. However, this does not come with one. So think about having an extra pan under your washer just to protect your home as much as possible. Don't be surprised when you see baseboards that have a gap to the flooring. You can see that in new construction homes as well as existing homes. There usually has been previously carpet installed, and then the new owners then changed it to hardwood flooring or LVP flooring. In new construction homes, the builder might have had just a different way of installing the baseboards. Just know it's not always wrong, but sometimes it might throw you off because it looks weird. When you're buying or building a new construction home, sometimes it's really hard to know what's included in the price and what is not. And when you have a very detailed feature, just like light switches, you might not be aware that these rockers might be an upgrade that you have to pay for extra. This is a pony wall. It's right next to the stairs. And if you decide not to have a pony wall, but actually spindles, it would really open up the room. But just like everything else in new construction, that is an upgrade and costs you extra money. So what kind of corner finish your builder provides is definitely just up to them. Unfortunately, most builders do not provide you a choice of whether having a pointed corner or a bullnose. I think right now most people are tending to have these, let's call them old-fashioned corners versus a bullnose, but talk to your builder and see what they offer if you prefer a bullnose over this. In 2025, the days are finally over of you having to put a dowel or some sort of a stick here in order to keep you safe and the sliding door not opening when somebody tries to enter. What you can have now is actually these little safety locks that allow you to open or lock. It's easy and pretty practical. A quick word about siding. You have still composite siding that's being offered. In Colorado, we don't see a ton of vinyl siding. You do see it off and on. Now we've gone over to actually concrete composite siding, which has the advantage that it's very durable. The sun is really hard on our siding, on our exterior of the home, so this will be less maintenance and more protective of the outside of your property. And while we're at it, let me show you this. These holes here are weep holes. This is a way for water that collects along the window to exit. If you ever see these clogged, just give them a quick wipe so that they're open, so that the water can freely escape. After all, keeping water away from the house is the first and most important rule of builders.